This is very similar. We talked about the Careza stuff last week, which is the dopamine diet that I've been working on, and also orgasm abstaining. But the big argument in the book, as I've gotten deeper into it, is that most of the actions that we take are not in pursuit. Well, in one way, they're in pursuit of a greater thrill, but most of the times they're in pursuit of anxiety relief. And if you were to talk about putting on makeup and you ask women, what is the experience of putting on makeup for the average woman? She'd say, I just don't feel like I can't go out without this. Mm-hmm. Not that this is a joyous experience for me, but I'll feel really bad if I don't. And if you analyze your own decisions that one makes in a day, so many of them are anxiety relieving and so few are joy generating. It's this is what this book talks about, and it gets worse because the addictive cycle is when you relieve one anxiety, you're tricked into believing, oh wow, that was so good. What you don't realize is that you've started to build a pattern whereby you need to continuously relieve that anxiety.
Yeah. You know what I always find interesting is when people say something fashion related or looks related is for them.
Yeah.
I always find that so interesting. Oh, I don't do my makeup for other people. I do my makeup for me. Oh, this haircut, this isn't for other people. This is for me. It doesn't seem like it, because it seems like when people are at home and they know they're going to be at home and they're watching Netflix, they put on sweatpants and they put their hair up in a bun or whatever it is. I just always think that's so funny. It's people do these things, I think, largely for other people, but then feel the need to deny it. There's almost this weird shame that they feel around saying, yeah, of course I do this makeup for other people, or I do it so that I can feel good around other people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they're trying to say. But if you went to a log cabin alone for a month, by day 4, you'd stop doing makeup.
Yeah. And you might shower. You know what I mean? You would probably still like, being clean feels good.
Yes.
But putting this on my face does not. And that's one of the reasons I think that people do solitude and go to log cabins, is to strip everything back and go, what in my life was truly for me, and what was I doing because I thought other people expected it of me?
Yeah. And I don't deny, by the way, that when people put on makeup, what they might be trying to communicate is, I don't put this on because I'm hoping to attract you. Mm-hmm. I put this on because without it, I feel uncomfortable. Sure. And so I put this on for my own emotional state. Mm-hmm. But that's because you feel judged by other people's eyes. Yeah. Because if you had to go to a log cabin for 12 months with no human interaction, the makeup would drop off very quickly, I think.
Sure. And the question then becomes, what wouldn't? What would remain had you access to all of these sorts of things? Walks in the woods, I think, would remain. I don't think anybody... I'm sure some people are trying to be fit and get whatever sort of abs they think they get from taking walks. Yeah, but...
And we're all guilty of this, by the way.
Sure.
You'll know that I have given up on trying to attract people when I shave my head. Because having a shaved head is awesome. And having any hair at all is worse than having a shaved head.
We both did our hair prior to sitting down
so
here.
This is not a judgment of other people. It's a description of humans. I just think it's funny when people say, no, I style my hair for me. I don't. When I know I'm not going to see anyone, I don't even shower.
Yeah. Well, I do think this is what I'm trying to move towards for the past 2 or 3 years. Yeah, increasingly identifying the things that are for me, doing more of them, fewer things that are only make me feel good as an anxiety relief, especially when it's in the eyes of other people.
Yeah, and I think just being honest about stuff. Mm-hmm. If somebody asks you to watch their dog and you truly would rather do it than not, you say, yeah, sure, no problem, I'm doing that for me. If someone asks you to watch their dog and you would rather not, but you do because you value the relationship, you can still watch the dog. Mm-hmm. I just think it's important for your own happiness to be like, cool, I'm going to do this. It's not a huge deal. It's not optimal, but for the relationship.
Sure.
I think that something that a lot of people do is they lie to themselves, which is the most dangerous lie, because you don't even know you're doing it necessarily.
About their motivations.
About your motivations, yeah. About why you do your hair, about why you do favors for people. Yeah.
Then here's one of the big questions is, why that self-deception? What does that self-deception protect? I don't immediately have the answer. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, it depends. I mean, each self-deception is different. The self-deception around the makeup
for me. Why is that such a ubiquitous, if you're maintaining that it is a self-deceiving, why so common?
I think we have the weird thing in society where there's a judgment around trying to look good. Weirdly enough, because everybody is to some level or another doing it. But I think there's a bit of a judgment of like, oh, you are doing that to impress people of the opposite sex, especially for women. There's a weird judgment around like, oh, you're doing that to impress men. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, that's discouraged. So I think that's where it comes from.
Yeah, and I think it even goes beyond opposite sex. I think it's when you admit to doing something for other people, weirdly enough, that's seen as weak-willed or something, or not
sure.
independent, and therefore you have to pretend for other people that your motives are other than they are. Got it.
No, people, and again, there's no judgment. People ask me this about my tattoo. They're like, would you get it if you were the only one that could see it? Like, probably not. It was really expensive and painful. Like,
this is truly an advertisement for all of you to know stuff about me.
Like, I like it, but would I get it if only I could see it? Like, I might just write myself reminders.
Yeah.
It's very painful. It took 50 hours.
Post-it notes work.
Yeah.
I find very well.
And I was talking to another guy who's getting a sleeve tattoo, and he said, oh, I'm just doing this for me. I'm only doing this for me. Maybe our brains are totally different, but it does seem like a strange, very public thing to do for other people.
Yeah. All right, let's hop. What do we got?